Okay. Let's see. I'm just trying to set up the stream. What? Oh, it was an ad. Okay. It's like I've never seen that. Okay. Huh. I'm trying to set up my virtual camera to see where everything's going. Have a little live feed, make sure everything's still going. And it just started to play like Wix. You want a page on Wix? I was like, that's not my stream. But it was an ad, so okay. Mic check. Audio check. Cool. I thought it'd be better. I think my cough is still here, apparently. Yeah, from last week. I believe I didn't get sick, or at least not very sick from Everfree, but then a couple days later I got sick from something. I've had a cold. And yeah, it's been like a whole week until I actually felt better. So apparently it's still a little bit on from the cough. It just kicks in when I'm talking, so that's great. Hope you guys are doing good. I'll just drink some water while I can. Oh boy. Yeah, hope you guys are doing good. Be nice if I can do a stream where I don't have to talk. Oh well. I like talking. So I gotta explain way too many things. Like all of this mess. Alright, Here we go. Okay, I'm back and I'm still alive somehow. Welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. I got my got my neck to work again. Yeah, last week I was feeling a little stiff, huh, with my head. Anyway, yeah, I'm feeling way better now. We'll see how I go. I'm sure I just have to keep drinking water to keep my throat hydrated. Yeah, welcome, welcome. Hi, Jed. Welcome, Cookie. And Lettuce. Welcome, welcome. In the Streamlabs, but we don't really care about Streamlabs being a chatter. Anyway, welcome, welcome. Thanks for coming. I think the Pony Live, the online thing is going on. Maybe it's weekend or something. There's a lot of other stuff going on. A lot going on. So, thanks for being with me. Appreciate it. So, this is a birthday stream because tomorrow, I want to emphasize tomorrow, I'll probably have to say that throughout the stream, but tomorrow is my birthday. So, yeah, I'll be a little older tomorrow. So, I guess, yeah, just for today, it's just going to be, obviously this is the closest to tomorrow, you know, as a stream. So, it's like, well, okay. Best to do it as soon as I can without going over, you know, kind of thing. So, yep. So, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. So many cakes. Wow, that's a lot of cakes. I can't eat that many cakes. Wow. Yeah. So that's why I'm doing a birthday animation. I'll go over that. I guess once we get a little settled here, I think we're good. Yeah. Turn up the music a little bit. Let's see. Okay. So I made this. I set up the file last night and then worked on the storyboard a bit this morning. So it's a little surreal to now being like, okay, well, all this time I've been working yesterday and up to now, it's like, okay, just trying to get this up so I can show something, I guess. So let's see. I got the storyboard. Storyboard is Derpy. A little birthday, little hat. I blanked on hat apparently. and she got a little present, and then she tries to open it, but what's inside the box is another box, and then keeps having like all these smaller and smaller boxes until it's the tiniest little micro box, and there's a little tiny muffin. And she's like, what? And then eats it. Yeah. Let's see. So that's the story. I'll probably finagle with this a lot, but this is just the blueprints, I guess, of what I want to do. So we'll see. So here's 11 years. Yep, I've started when I was like in junior high, and I'm now a working adult. I'm on that grind now. I've always, you know, I've always liked art, so, and ponies has been great. Easy enough. They don't have hands, so really easy to draw. Man, I just love doing this. Can't get enough of it. So, I love the YouTube shorts as well. This has been a great breakthrough. That don't have to worry about making 3-minute long cartoons anymore, or 2 minutes or whatever. It's like I could make less than a minute and then still be okay. Everything's okay with that. Don't have to feel the pressure of like you gotta do a 3.5-minute episode every month or something. That's like, no, I can't anymore. That's really hard. Oh yeah, let's see. Cake muffins. I did get an idea that I can have this be a better loop. Let's see. Cake muffins. Oh, that's my favorite. I do like blueberry muffins. IRL, I do like blueberry muffins. Do you have an idea to make this into a loop? Is to have, I think I might have this. A picture of these are all the different pictures of the storyboard, basically. We have this basic one, so I should probably get over here, make a keyframe, go back, make one, and then I can now draw. I can extend this a little bit, having a little bit more time, and then have a new drawing, clicking that button, and then have a mysterious character holding a present, and this character gives, let's make this big, I can kind of round that. So we'll start neutral, and then get the present, and then we need to get from here to here. So we need a new frame here, where we get the passing. Now she grabs it. And then maybe like one more keyframe here, where they just move this along. Yeah, it needs to be in between, so let's do, it'll just be a little wider out. And then getting into this pose. So I think it's something sort of like that. Obviously these are just really, really bare bones drawings. I mean, they're literally stick figures. Hopefully I'll get some better tips when when Cookie and I do a stream later on. That might be next week, if all goes well. Otherwise, I'll do something else. I'll probably work on the movie instead, if that's the case. Extend this just a bit. Hello. You got a fun name that looks beautiful, but I can't exactly read it, so I'll just wave. Thank you. Let's get excited. Movie is the Paper Derpy movie that haven't had an update in like a year, and I'm sorry about that. I've been trying to get back on the horse, essentially, to get back onto there. But it's just been tough. Between like I literally get fatigued after work, and then it's just hard to get on there. Unfortunately, like in a pretty difficult section where I just kind of get too lazy and I just get too scared to like actually work on it. I don't know if you guys get that, where it's like, you know, like homework or something, where it's like, I don't want to actually do science homework. That's a lot of work. I don't want to. I'm getting too lazy. I want to not do it. That's why I also get literally fatigued after work, because it's surprisingly on the move. A lot of stuff I gotta do. It's an excuse, but it's like I'm having to do so many other things as well. Obviously, working on these smaller projects gonna help me better. I did recently work on a Midnight Mirrors animation. Should I link that to you? Just so you guys can watch that. I'm gonna bring up the link. I'm gonna share that with you real quick. I worked on this animation. Let's see if I can click wrong button. Something went wrong. There we go. Share, copy. Let's see. Tomorrow's my birthday, but I'm sure. So I worked with a brony animator who's been in the fandom for a long while. Not sure if he wants me to. He's not credited in the credits, but so I'll respect that. Doesn't want to be credited for it. But yeah, I've been training with him for the last couple months to try and get him to understand the way that weird, wacky ways Yoshi Greenwater animates with the Midnight Mirrors characters. So, there's like four. Let's see. There's 4 sequences in that video that I shared. Like four shots. So I helped with all of the character animation shots in some capacity, but the other animator worked on the first 2 shots. So Daybreak, walking in the top view from the balcony. Let's see, this will be easier. Yeep. So, the other animator worked on this shot. He also worked on the first shot here, and then the director worked on the scroll part, and then I worked on this part from here on. So I worked on the later half, but then the other animator worked on the first half, and then the director worked on the middle part. So it was a really team effort, but hopefully you wouldn't notice that, you know, by the way that everything's kind of hopefully pretty seamless. So I animated Daybreak in this little section here. Get to that. So it's muted, but you can watch it with audio if you click that link. It's about the Patreon. So if you want to weirdly, indirectly support me in a weird way, if you're able to, yeah, join the Midnight Mirrors Patreon, and then some of that money may or may not, you know, weirdly go in a circle back to me if I worked on anything. Or I guess if you want to directly support me, then you can do my own Patreon, which is in the description of this video. So you can do that. But yeah, just wanted to highlight that I worked on animating and doing compositing and everything else. Basically everything that you see. And composited the background. I didn't make the background. I didn't make the puppet in the original, but I upgraded the puppet to make it easier to work with, which ironically made it harder for the new animator who like wasn't used to all my wackiness with all these buttons and controls and all these gizmos that I'll get into. But these gizmos, you know, they help, where it's like I re-rigged her arm so I can like click on this button and then I can do some weird It's weird stuff here. That wasn't available before. Let me lock this and I will say hello to you. Let's see. Hi vlogger. Welcome, welcome. I'm doing better. I'm doing okay. Got my neck stretched out a little bit. I can do all this now again. Yeah, hope you're doing well. Let's see if I can. No, I can't move the background. So that's good. Okay. Yeah, let's just get into it. Let's just go. Okay. So for the majority of this, I think she doesn't. I think I have her just sit down the whole time. So, I can work with that. This is the interesting section there, and then eats it. So, let's figure this out. Probably just want to do a new peg up here. It's gonna get complicated if all these extra little blocks here. Let's see. Okay. So now if I want to, I can have a keyframe of her here, and then if I want to move her over here, I can then disable this peg and then remove that position. Okay. So go to the body. I probably should be looking up so many tutorials and stuff that it might be good to have an extra couple frames in my turnaround, like instead of the turnaround of just being like different frames of angles and stuff, including everything drive substitution, I could have an extra picture for all the different poses, like the special different poses, like her sitting down, you know. So instead of having me recreate, you know, something that I probably would do fairly quite often, I could just, this is where this comes in, I could just make a drawing, a pose, make a pose library basically of her sitting down here, so I wouldn't have to recreate what I'm doing now again, ever again. Did you feel? I should feel it. Hello, I believe Sasha. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Did add a couple other weird stuff here, like added some dynamic springs, some 2-point constraints, some stuff that is a little weird, you know. I get it. Like I had to add this physics slider as well, so I can have added it so her hair can have dynamic hair. It'll auto keyframe her hair for me. Toon Boom will just have its own physics simulation basically going on. So excited to kind of work with that on this puppet. These are all these little dots. It's like I don't have to, you know, click on the one eyeball here and then try and either like shift click or try to click both, or like do move one at a time or something. It's like I got something in the middle that lets me get from this hierarchy at the bottom all the way up to here. Instead of clicking on a drawing, I can get to the transformation bubble there. And then I can move these around. If I want to move both, I can click the little green dot. So all these little helper selectors, obviously none of these render. So if I, you know, go all the way back out here, you select that. Hide, storyboard, and then render it. Obviously it'll look perfect, like all the little doodads will disappear, but for animating, you can get as wild as you want. You know, you can get way too many little bubbles, these little dots and stuff to be able to move things around a little bit. This might not work at this position. So I might want to have that be in a better place. So let's, that makes sense there, but this one doesn't. So let's move this one up here and this one down here. And so now if I move one of these, we get this motion. I want to reverse it, so I'll move this one up and then move this one down. And then now I can do this. So if I ever need a control point to be able to squash and stretch your body, I'll be able to do that. All these wacky things as like would never have thought I'd be playing with all these, especially when I was first learning in Flash. You know, and you never have to deal with this in Flash. So let me just work her tail a little bit. And see what that looks like. Is that cute? Is that cute enough? Does it need to be somewhat more cute? Does she need a shadow? I can add that in. Yeah, maybe giving like a rating of just how 1 to 10 of how cute she is here. So maybe ever kind of look over and then be open her mouth, maybe a little. Yeah. This will connect to her whole body, and then we'll just simply draw in here. Give me a contrast black. And then I can go in here and kind of make it slightly lighter, and then bring the opacity down, give me a circle. Move, fill. Derpy, you got it. See you soon. Always wonder where you're going, but it's none of my business. Do slide this back in real Z space here until it goes behind her. Probably want to slip this down. What if I want to make her tail just a little shorter? Obviously, this isn't connecting with here. So slide that in there. There we go. Okay. Is that cute? Let's see. Oh, hello. Let's see. Yeah, man. It's going great. Oh, awesome. Hope you're having fun in college. College is real big time. That's awesome. Congrats on that. Turn it down a little. You know what your, obviously you're in college, so then you would know what your major is, right? Hopefully know what your field of study is. You know, yeah, that's awesome. You want to share it to class, or is that too much? What I can do is use my hat and then just replace it. I can replace my hat with a different hat. Because it's already rigged and everything, it should work. We just do this and then draw a new hat. Let's see. Art, English, and video production. Hey, all right. English is interesting. I know I had to like take some like baby classes because like I didn't apparently learn everything in high school. I had to like take some math classes in college just because I wasn't smart enough, I guess, or I feel like I didn't. It's weird because I feel like they just kind of sabotage me, where it's like, yeah, we'll have you take a aptitude test, you know, before you get in. But it's like these are stuff that you probably didn't learn in high school, so it's like, well, you should have somehow learned things that you didn't learn. And then didn't you be smart, so then you don't have to, you know, do stuff like that. Right? Yeah, I had to take a couple math classes and English classes in college, and it's like, what? I literally didn't learn this. So I was like, okay. I had a digital, on a computer class, test, I should say. I had a test on a computer before I started, and they were trying to see how smart I am. And it's like, yeah, I'm trying to go to your school so I can learn how to be more smarter, please. So I was like, well, wait a minute. So I guess it's good that they actually did teach me all that, but it's like, man, I just feel like a dummy, you know? Like, come on. So, my majors were in, obviously, art and design, but I also took some typography classes. Those were really actually the most fun for me. Actually, ironically, the best classes I probably took, because my day job work is engraving, like on sports teams, plaques and plates and commemorative stuff. I get to write out people's names and then say the team and then say you win, and then so that takes a lot of design work to figure that out. So it's really important to know enough typography, because that's actually like really important, so I can know when the design comes in. It's like I know what I have to like sometimes start from scratch on some of the plaques. Like I wouldn't have a file to work with, so it's like, okay, well, how do I start from scratch on like one of these plates, you know, be like one of these, you know, perpetual plates, and it's like has all these different plates on it full of names and years and people, and it's like, okay, here's enough here, but you gotta make this one. And it's like, okay, how do I look at the last one and see what the format is, and then look at the typography design of it, and then, you know, get a whole plate and little dots out of a year, like 2023, and then the name. So it's like, how do you reproduce this design, basically? So I had to like look at the exact measurements and like design and be like, okay, here's this and this is that far down, this is a block, where's this, and then figure out the font and then the size and everything, and like figure out the entire scope of it. So that's what I gotta do all day. Sometimes where it's like it's really hard. We have to do all that. So let's see though. Resume. Major. Okay. Digital illustration. It's okay. I can't speak either. When is there gonna have a animation major? Whoa, animation major. All right. Well, you know, never get into animation. Is one of the quotes. But yeah, that's awesome. Good luck with that. Best wishes, if that's, I don't know if that's appropriate. Let's see. Should I change her outfit too? Maybe she could have like a party outfit. Thankfully, it should be real easy to change this with just one stroke of this, and I could be like, whoa, rainbow. All right. Make it kind of this similar. I can literally just use this color. Make it a little darker from there. Beep. Now she got a different color. Little birthday girl. Yay. Okay. Well, now she's set up. I would like a present. I need to go into... It would be good to connect it to the arms. Problem is that Toon Boom is 1,000,000,000% better than Flash, but there's still a couple things that like I keep bringing up, but it's like it does irk me just like how almost fundamental it is. It's just like how I want it to work. And it's like, man, all these missed opportunities. It's like it's so close to being perfect, but it's just like some of these things where these are all nodes, and you get drawing. Let's see, like with the arm, you get a drawing node which just holds the visible drawing pictures here. You get some deformers, like it added an extra piece here to be able to really break that arm. And then these are just to have extra constraints, and 2-point constraint for node here at the bottom to be able to say the constraint here, and then at the top to like do the rotating up here. And then this OGO controller is just the physical little visible button at the bottom here, so I can do that. Just so I can talk to this one easy. What if I should change the flip this drawing here? Set a new drawing and literally just go in and see if I can talk to this drawing and then say flip one way or the other. That might work better. I think I like that kind of. Angle to this now. Maybe it can go up. It's like a owl wing or something. There you go. Ooh. Okay. Whew. Hands coming up. Okay. Timey-wimey. Very nice. Little Dr. Hooves, I'd see. It's a little smaller. Thank you. Cool animation, thank you. I'm almost starting to animate too. It's great. Just setting up the puppet to be in the right pose and getting everything that I need. Just going over how the arm works. I'll go over the physics as well at some point too when I start animating her head. I think the physics is off at this point, but then I think it goes up. Also shadow disappears because it's literally on just one frame, so I'll go to the end and extend it, and now it should go. Oh no. Oh no, she exploded. But anyway, this will be the first frame, so don't have to worry about this. It is interesting though. Huh. There you go. Just gotta reset it. Okay. I was getting into wanting to have the present to draw that in. Because in my storyboard, I have all these presents, and then she opens it, and then there'll be a whole bunch of presents that eventually drop out, and so she gets a tiny little one, and then a tiny little muffin that comes out, and then she eats it. So she gets a new present, and it's like the same thing. So what I want is to draw a present, and I was getting into how I don't like how these nodes interconnect to each other like a weird pipeline thing, and it means that they're like almost hard-coded into how, you know, throughout the entire animation, these don't change connection types, you know. It's like these are how it's going to be. Like there's no way to midway through an animation say, you know what, I don't want this to be connected, you know, I want to cut this wire and then have something happen, you know, be able to destroy this particular connection here or something. Because I want to have handing off things. It's going to be the trickiest part. It shouldn't be, you know, but it's like, okay, I have to plan this out basically of like, okay, present is getting connected to here, but then I want it to be here, and then every time I want to move her close arm, every time I move, every time I want to move close arm, that means I want present to move. But that means at the beginning, when it's not connected to arm, that means that when it's connected to not here, it gets way more confusing than it should be. Of like, okay, so does that mean I just don't connect it at any point, but then every time I want to move both, then it doesn't. So I had an idea. That looks weird. But the text of it looked kind of grainy, was weird. I was thinking that I can have another peg that connects at a tire level. I'm not sure if this will work. I just thought of this, is that if I have present and arm connect to this new one, connect this to the body, and so now that means if I move this one, it should move arm and present. And if I just want present to move now, so I can just move that. And anytime I want both, then I can do this one. But essentially, they should connect in theory. So hopefully, this should be arm plus present P for peg. I don't know if this will work. I just thought of this. We'll see. Let's go back. Let's draw the present. The fun part is I probably want to make a whole bunch of these. So I'll probably just have one simple box here. And then I'll have like a whole bunch of different styles of it. So I will figure this out just quickly. Get this guy in. And I can use this color actually as a fill. Let's make it just green, I guess, for now. And then a lighter for the middle. Yeah. It'll connect them. Beep. Okay. So this is one. Apparently it's rotated. This is where it's gonna get tricky. So obviously I've rotated there, but obviously the arm is rotated, which then does that because this arm is rotated. That's where that is. Put it at the hinge. Should can't see. So I want it here, basically at Derpy's shoulder, which means I can then move both of these if I want. And then if I want arm, I can just do arm. If I want present, then I can just do present. Let me see where's my grid? My other grid. This one. It's in space. I could put this in the exact center. What do I want? Try and remove a couple of these extra bips. Here. Okay. So this is actually present the box. And then I'll need another piece for the present lid. And then this should still work. That's a peg. Ah. give me a drawing. I need present. Because I'm going to animate the lid separately. So I need it as a separate drawing and separate element to everything else. Connect that there, give it a peg, and then weird thing is that I don't want to connect it to like her body or anything else weird. I want it to actually be connected to her box. No, I think I should want it separate. But also, whenever I move, this is where, yeah, okay. I need 2 lids. I might need 2 boxes as well. This is where Flash might get a little, you know, better credit, because like I don't have to worry about all this interconnectedness to make things work. Basically, the wires are just to say like if I move this, what does it control, you know? So basically this spaghetti is a higher level hierarchy, and so it can talk to the present and lid and the arm, and then these all connect to each other. That's why the drawing's at the bottom, because the drawing doesn't have as much influence as much as the transformation thing that's going on here. So what I want is maybe I'm gonna go back here. Let's just draw it so I can figure this out. I'll go on to a new sublayer. Might need a new color here. This, and then I want a big bow. And then I'm gonna play with this. And I get roughly, hopefully, what I want. We'll see. Unless I completely destroy this like that. Oh well. It's always good to work with less, and then, because then you can always add more later on. So right now, you just want to play with this to try and get this is what I mean, like this is, I mean, less makes it easier to make a round. If I can grab this guy. Yeah, I probably could just work with maybe 1 or 2. Yeah, at minimum, you know, 2 anchor points, vector points here. And then play with this enough. If I want to get more crazy, I can have these ribbons actually be their own art asset, actually. If I want to get really crazy, I could be like, oh yeah, let me just have it so that these ribbons have physics or something. Go to the bottom and then change it to be this color, because that's the ribbon color, I guess. Is that how that works? Box. Okay. So now, I'm gonna separate this drawing out. I'm gonna cut it, get to the present lid, and then now I have 2 different drawings, a box and lid, and they're lined up. So I just cut it. This means that whenever I want to move shoulder, box can move. I want just arm. I can do that. Problem then is I want to have sometimes have the box be part of it, but also not part of it. Ooh, here's a thing. I can have, I just thought of this. I can have a drawing of the lid as a separate drawing here. So I can have new drawing placed on top. So now I can switch essentially which version I want. And then, so during animation, if I want two separate pieces, I can have two different pieces, or I can swap this over to be the one piece and then be able to do that. And then if I need to swap over, then it just becomes that. That'll work. This is what I mean. It's like, I just want to, you know, it's weirdly how complicated having to do like props and like, here's a prop and then I'm going to give it to you. And then you're holding the prop and then you're going to put it down. Doing that in Toon Movement animation is like, let me think this through. So that means, how do I go about this? Ah, jeez. It's weirdly so technical to figure this out. Just the way that, because you have to, again, because everything is connected, that means if you want to disconnect things halfway through, it's like, you can't. Like, if I disconnect any of these right now, then it'll disconnect it for the rest of the animation. It's not like I can keyframe these wires and noodles. You can do a lot, but it's like, sometimes not. What I can do for the beginning is that I can have it be box and then just remove lid. And then just, I guess just, well, yeah. But whenever I move that, that's everything. Sometimes I just want to move the box over, but then if I move this in any way, you know, over here, that means if I show the lid's not going to work. But the only reason I have this lid then is because I want it to move without the box being open. So there are a bunch of these a lot of the time then it won't be actually connected. So I'll be in a different space every time. So I have to like move the lid back into a position that I want it to be, you know, put it back and be like, okay, and then swap the drawing of the box, turn this off, then have the lid. I guess it needs to be in space a little like that. And then just kind of flip back and forth to make sure that the animation works. And then, yeah. So I'll have to get both of these and then just kind of rotate it there. Okay. Trying to figure out what the rest of her. Ugh. Well, yeah, but no. That moves over there. Is that it is where I want it to be? So maybe I need to have her be way over here. A little smaller. So it should fit in here. Yeah. Is that cute? Hopefully that's cute. Let's get rid of that. Render. Okay. So, problem is that I can't get both. It's almost too big. Q confirmed. Perfect. Okay. That's what I need to hear. I'm just wonder. Can I do both? Can this connect to two things? No. No, it can only connect to one thing. That'd be great. So that would mean I would need to let's get ribbon and maybe make it smidgy shorter, and let's kind of bring it out. That's too much. Yeah, okay. I mean, original drawings I had for the storyboard header kind of have it close under her and like kind of like be underneath her. So maybe might have to obviously adjust this a little bit now if I have it be. The lid is not present. It's presently not present, but I need it to sort of be present so I can see where it is, but I guess I'll be fine to take it out and then swap this to be just present box being one drawing. Heh. Okay. Okay. And obviously I can still do everything here I can do. Okay. I think I'm just about set up, but I think I need a little bit more, but I can do that later. I think I just need to worry about the box with everything together, and then I'm gonna turn that off, and then I think I want to make her even slightly smaller. Lower. Okay. Yeah, okay. This box needs to be somewhere here, I guess. Maybe your legs need to be shorter. Which apparently I can just do that. Cool, okay. Tail doesn't work now. It's very important to get like this first pose good. Obviously you can still kind of mangle with a lot of this as you go, but having a very strong, obviously having a very good, you know, first impression is what makes this work. So I can kind of play with a little bit of my deformers here and see if I can kind of round out these poses to be a little bit more exact. So I can try to get these maybe legs a little less stiff and kind of curving them a little bit like that. Little curvy legs there. And then I can see roughly what that looks like. Probably want to get rid of some of that. I like having two versions, like I can get real close on the details here and then you can then see what it looks like immediately over here without having to zoom in and out. And then see, as I see the leaves in the forest. I think I learned a German word today. I watched a video. They mentioned like some Gestürfeln. And it's like, oh yeah, I get that. Where you get too used to looking at something really close with like, you start seeing like you only start seeing like the parts instead of the whole. One sec, let me just get this going here. Let's see. Still make animations just for fun. The only animations that you've seen recently have been ones I've released. I think it's just because I'm so, I work so hard that then on regular trophy stuff, engraving, that I feel literally the remaining time I have to use it for actual projects and work on, if I'm working on minimares or the, commissions or the movie, is like the only time left would be, these little shorts and stuff. And so it's like I might as well, use as much time as I really have left in the day to work on a project that actually will become something, But I've always done, animations for fun, but I think every animation there's always like a guilty pleasure, kind of like, oh, I want to do something fun as a concept. So I always take these little gadgets. I take these a little too seriously, I guess, So, it is always any project I'm doing now is always a part of something, I guess I sketch a little from time to time. It's like I'm just trying to make myself draw, just to keep myself in the habit of it. But yeah, I think just on the most part, all the stuff I'm doing now is what you've seen. All the projects like the Pikmin one was a fun idea to me, but it became like a stressful 24-hour, can I get this done kind of project to get it done within like 24 hours. So, yeah, I feel wasteful if I don't make something out of my time, So, but yeah, these always are fun projects, but they always dive into eventually become like, oh geez, I gotta get this done. Like, oh geez, panic mode basically of trying to get it done. The problem is I keep doing stuff that are, I keep doing stuff that's like holiday related, or things that are kind of based on, current events and whatnot. So I'm always good at also procrastinating as well, I guess. So it all kind of leads me into, doing something for fun. Oh, it'll be a fun idea, and it becomes like I'm just forcing myself exactly to try and get it done and get it out and do this, and not thinking about how, oh yeah, maybe I should, give myself time to actually complete it, or stuff like that, where it's like, oh wait, yeah, this could be fun, but if I give myself actual time to actually want it to complete it, I guess. If I gave myself like even one more day on the Pikmin one, it could have been twice as better. So, oh well. It's hard when I'm not, doing full-time animation anymore. It's like I gotta now force myself to try and get these done sooner than I probably could, So, yeah. I was just right today, but I have no motivation or any ideas. No ideas? That's where I was at. I usually have too many ideas, and it's like, then I become like, I have to then kind of limit my ideas into like what's actually feasible, because I'm knowing myself like I probably can only do so much in a day, in a day or two to actually complete it. So get out. Add a visibility node just to make sure that I get this. This will make it so it won't actually render. So the storyboard is here, but it's set to not render, basically. Copy it onto my OGL. So now, okay, cool. So now it should only render basically Derpy in the background. Let's see. Welcome. Let's see. Hello, unicorn cake balloon. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, and Cookie, I know. I sometimes have to force myself to draw too. Because I know I have so many like bottlenecks, I'm just not, I don't feel myself being a good artist, you know? Like I'm a good animator. I've perfected that to an extent, you know, of animating. Isn't that right? So, actually drawing and actually having something that's looks, you know, a little better than this would be nice, you know? Even if I'm used to cartooning, so it's like I'm pretty good at least just trying to make something pretty quick, I guess. But anything, you know, more realized, I guess, is a little harder. So, yeah. Well, let's actually start animating how long it's been. Just about an hour. Okay. That was all the setup. And I already spent like yesterday too setting up all of these blocks. Like all these big blocks, getting all the bips in. And then this morning setting up this storyboard and drawing all these pieces. So now that I've set up the rest of the puppet, maybe I should be able to animate some stuff now. This is in a couple shots here. I think there's like 3 shots where we go from this shot. Let me just add another. I don't know what I did. Added something. Click on here, add. Excuse me. Tag here. So we swap to the other shot here. So it'll be like an insert kind of shot here where it's just a presence and then really, really small pebbles dropping. And then shot here of just her arms that open tiny, tiny present. And then a microscopic muffin comes out. And then she's squinting into like, what even is that? And it's like, oh, it's a muffin. Alrighty. And then eats it. Yeah. So what I want is to use those keyframes that I added. And then literally just move Derpy off screen at that point. I see that my hair physics are doing their job. Where they should pop into place. So I have this physics slider that should fix this if I set this up. There you go. Yep, yeah, that's my physics. So I have some crazy built-in plugin stuff where all these parameters are being used to animate her. He's using the position, the new position, calculated with all these trajectory stuff, plus these 2-point constraints with the different pegs of knowing which angles of position they should use. And then, yeah, animating it. So obviously it doesn't quite work every time. Or at least I had to like kind of wrangle with it a little bit to make this work. So what I can do is just kind of cut her back into this position. Shows it, and then she's back here. So obviously, just set her physics to at least there. And then I can put it back. And then whenever she moves her head, her hair will try and catch up, but obviously if we don't move it that much, it should work. Okay. Got those different shots in. Should I do the background? Nah, let's just do the hard part of the prop transfer. Stupid prop. I feel like I should probably look up some more tutorials to see if there's any tips I could find. Some Toon Boom specific tutorials or something. I've had to deal with props like this of like, how do you have a character A over here holding box and then they say, here, have a box. And then character B over here then takes it, and then that transfer, and then they can have both of them move at the same time. Or you can say move arm only, or move present only, you know. What's that? Arm wasn't working. Ah, this one. I can do that. So, okay. Where is that normally? So we will put that there. Okay. So storyboard wise, box comes in here. Keyframe. And let's see. Where I can come in. Don't know how high it can be. Let's see. T animates. Oh, another animator. Very nice. Or at least in some sort. Some fashion there. Welcome, welcome. Hello. Hope we're doing well. I think I've just started to actually do some layout animation here. Okay. So we needed to obviously react at that point. Probably should have. So I can have one of these be the keyframe here. So I'm going to go backward a bit because I already copied it from there. I can have this be the start of it. So I can duplicate that one and then just keep kind of going back. And then just slowly, instead, just bring it down. If I can grab it, please, and kind of rotate it. So now we get box. Always like to have it kind of ease out a little bit. Let's see if I can get some onion skin going on here. Let's see. I can see that it kind of gets a little higher at this point, so I can probably bring this one up, this one down, kind of. So by easing it out, it means that it's moving way slower near the end, so it'll be kind of get this motion. Turn off my storyboards and see. Get something like that. I'd say that's pretty simple, but you know how you can always play with it later. Okay. Unfortunately, the way that these are all connected means that if I want to have a whole body, whole Derpy, kind of go, wow, box, incredible, you know, the box also moves, so great. Once I do this manually now. So once box kind of comes into frame a little bit, you can kind of see maybe. Get something kind of funky like that. That moves that. And then this moves this. And then this moves everything here. Ooh. No. No. Does this move everything? Yeah, of course. Because it's connected. So to fix that would mean I need to make a whole nother present, but then I have to copy that animation that I just did. Just so I can be able to squish her down like I want to. But that's fine. Problem is that I also can't move her body. want to squish her body, but can't do that because everything is connected. Which means even if I want to move her body and squish it down, box also moves. Which means I need a separate box. Okay, there's no disconnect. Yeah. I was like trying to do this with the least amount of things, but you know, it's like, well, yeah, you're actually able to animate this correctly. I think I have to have this be disconnected, which literally means that it cannot be connected to anything, which means these little down lines cannot be anything, so it has to be its own separate thing now. So I'll be able to hopefully just click everything here, click box, which means that when I want to do redo, when we recolor everything, when I want to have a recolored of the box, I have to switch it on this one, and this one 3 times. So, you know, complicated this is gonna get. It's already so complicated. It's only gonna get more as I start to really work on this. There's no way that this works, but I never actually tried this. Let's just see. No, okay. I was like, let's just copy these keyframes. Maybe it'll work. Copy. Paste. Oh, box is down here, but it's relative, so maybe I'll just do it again. That's fine. Get back in place. Does it look like it's got 2? It does have 2. Was I copy and pasting the art instead? That'd be weird. Okay. So now I gotta have this duplicate version just because I can't disconnect my parents whatever I want. Don't you wish you could just do that? Just making sure that that's correct. Okay. It looks right. I don't know. Sure, when it's in motion, it'll look very poppy and not at all satisfying. Okay. Doesn't need to be perfect, but at least it can be relatively close here. I'm redoing this because I can then just kind of remove the first one I did and then not have to worry. Oh yeah, because I can then animate Derpy on her own animation instead. So what I'll do is then remove this animation from the first one. So that's which one? Yeah. So now, it's gonna get confusing, is that the first one is now this one. So that stays, but new one is not connected to Derpy, which means I can do this, and then that box I'm pointing with my hand, the one that she's getting impaled by is the new one. Which means I can also just remove the picture drawing of that box too. Okay, yeah. Again, Toon is great for character animation, but as soon as you want to do props, it's like, uh-oh. Oh, it's like, okay, So now I can take this, and I can see where her head is. This is where this comes in handy, where I can get the full view on that side to make sure, because I want to zoom in So I'm like getting granular, very small movements, be able to move my mouse really, or I guess my hand really, really small motions here. But I also want to see on the right the full big picture to see what's actually happening and see if that's working. And then seeing that, oh, this should work now. Not sure where that's. Now you get a little motion like that. Obviously her body is moving too freely. Which one does this? Okay. This is where this happens again. Yeah, kind of look to see where her body is, and then hopefully try to remove the amount of motion your body actually yeah. So I'm just trying to move, like, remove the amount of motion her body to body was moving. So now we can also go into facial animation if we want to, but honestly, I think I'll just, this is why we kind of do these in steps, and it's okay to do it in steps, because see how complicated it is, just do like some, quote, basic stuff. It's like, okay. So I'll probably like move her eyes down and then maybe change her expression to be a little bit happier or something. So that's just that. She grabs it really quick. I'm gonna have to make this a lot slower. Because it takes a lot longer than my storyboard to get the box for it to react and then to grab it. So for here, we want to get her into position to start to grab it. I need to make it a little bit slower because I see her body's not even done reacting there yet. So we'll go like a couple more frames. And then this will be her start. So I have a lot more time. With these YouTube shorts, you only get 1 minute of animation. So halfway will be at the 750 frame mark. I like to have my animations be shorter than 30 seconds. So I can loop it twice, and then I can have like an alternate reality kind of style thing where in the first half of the video, it'll be one version, and then the second 30 seconds will be the same animation, but with some tweaks or some other change to it. So it's kind of makes it so that when you watch it, you know, in a loop, it'd be like, whoa, why is it kind of different this time? So that's my own kind of like, oh, I like doing that kind of thing. It's like, oh, wait, why is that a little different? So then you watch it again, and then that kind of becomes my trick to have you watch, you know, 20, 30 seconds of animation like for like 60 seconds or even longer, you know, give more watch time for having less animation actually really unique going. My plan for this might be to be the change would be like the color of the presents, or maybe some small animation tweaks, or maybe she looks a different way, or you know, little tiny changes like that. Obviously don't change the whole dynamics of her motions and stuff, but I've been doing that for a lot of my cartoons, the YouTube Shorts ones. I don't think the Pikmin one had anything because I, again, just ran out of time. when I wanted to release it. I was like, that's about 2 hours before my deadline. So I was like, okay, don't have time to change anything. So, oh well. But this one, hopefully I'll be able to, because this seems to be only like 400 or 500 frames. Let's see. It ends around 400. So sounds like a lot, but when you're working on, you know, on twos, it's like, well, you just kind of cut that in half, almost, basically, you know, a little bit. You just don't have to think about every frame, but like every other frame. So it becomes like, oh, it's 200 unique frames. And it's like, okay. I mean, some of these frames are literally just like, whoop, you know, woo woo, you know, like to do a change of animation. It's like, oh yeah, now she's just building up animation and anticipation, and then like releasing it, and then like kind of moving things. So there's a lot going on, but it's like per frame, you know, from frame, you know, these 4 frames aren't doing much, but it's like this enough to get things going. Which I think her hair may or not be going. A little bit there. I can bump that up. Unless that was wrong. I'm not sure. We go to dynamic spring and then see. So it was active for about 50%, and then I brought it down to 22%. So it actually goes this way. Make it stronger. So now it should be about 100. Oh yeah. Get rid of the storyboard and just kind of look at the motion of her back here. There's like a slight this kind of motion. It's so small, but it's like I didn't have to animate that, but I guess I sort of half animated it, where I set up all these parameters and set up all these numbers that I can go back in and change these ones, and then set up the physics slider, and then see what I can do. But yeah, I didn't have to move her hair like that, so that's fun. Get some auto animation there. And I could always go back and, like, you know, go in and be like, oh no, I want it to be over here on a per frame, so I can still animate it if I need to. But some of the more, you know, almost auto animation stuff, like all these hair simulations, I don't necessarily have to animate now anymore. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. Oh yeah, it's like just like, oh, it works. Okay. Hardest part again is the transfer. I think this is magic. And sleight of hand is like, I think one of the, if there's like 12 principles of animation, the transfer is like one of those kind of things. Sleight of hand kind of things. So we will have her anticipate by having her go back a little bit to be like, I'm getting ready to lunge forward and follow through with her body. Oh yeah, that's a snap. She just wants it. It's like, yeah. It's like, present. And then grabs it. Hold a couple frames to grab it, and then really kinetic. So present. Honestly, I think it's a little slow. I think I actually want it to be a little bit faster. I think I can get rid of a couple of these frames, and then make it a little bit faster like that. So that's good. work on the arms. So when planning it is that when she grabs the box, that then at some point it needs to do the transfer to then swap from disconnect the box into the one that's then connected into her arm. Oh, just explaining that, I'm just realizing how weird any of this sounds. Anticipation here. It's that arm. Give me other arm. This makes no sense. Okay, this is gonna be a spring forward, so we're just gonna go for it. She's just gonna be grabby. Play with my formers here. So I set this up that there are 3 points to it. There's one in the elbow. And I can do these little curves. Do is push her neck a little as well, which also can have this deformer. Wing kind of be pushed forward as well. Present, whoa, give. And then we'll follow through. Get my arm again. Wrong arm. And then we'll have it touch the box. I want the box to be between her arms, so I will slide it in depth between it. Realize that that's changing the size of it. So I will figure out what the depth of this is and then just copy that throughout the whole sequence here. So it'll be similar, the same Z depth throughout for each of these keyframes, or I can copy the previous one onto there. If there was 100 of these, I think there's a way to use math. There's like, I could probably show it. There's a curve editor, like in 3D. There's all these curve editor stuff. Like everything is mathematical. Or there's this to play with. Or if I wanted to, I could probably just remove these keyframes on the Z depth, and then so then it won't seem like it moves. So in theory, you wouldn't have to move it, and then it should still feel inside there. So okay. Yeah, I know. Okay. And actually, you know, you probably want to have at least some physics, so to the box. It should move a little bit. And then we hold on this for like a little bit here. So we really get that grab. Yeah, I don't have to animate the hair. Oh, so awesome. I just spent way too long last night trying to figure out all those numbers in the hair. Trying to figure all that out. That was a doozy. Hold. Need to move that back so we on the right frame rate. Had it on ones. Why is it going up? That's good. At this point I could swap it. But it'd probably be better if I do it on the spring back, and she pulls it back on into herself a little bit, and she really got it. So I feel like if I did the transfer here, the transfer would be the swap between it's connected to the real present box, yeah, it's connected to her arm, then I feel to be harder to get this to be exact, the position of it, when I can do it when it's moving. So then it'll be less perceptible to be to see the real swap of it. If that makes any sense. Okay. So hold for a bit. Hold for a bit. And then we're getting ready to pull back, and then we spring back. This is the start of the spring back. So we will move the arms into a more normal length. Then we'll swap this. We'll add the other present with the lid, because we're not doing the one that has the animation of the present lid yet. And then this is where I want it to swap over. So we'll get this into position, and then swap it there, and then remove the other box, and then keep this one for the animation. And then yeah, I got it. And so now, because now it's swapped it, now whenever Derpy moves, the box moves with her, and so that's what I want. Okay. After we're not done yet, because I want to have it be on the ground. Also, I want the same Z depth. So I'm pushing this right in between there. And kind of move her shoulders up as if it's a little bit more natural of a feeling that you're kind of pushing it closer to yourself, then your arms will kind of go, your shoulders kind of go up a little. And when you're trying to stretch out, they'll kind of go away from you, and then it'll get a little closer. And kind of lift it up, and then maybe it drops it down. Yeah. Or, you know, happy accident is that maybe that's fine as a fun, and then she drops it. Problem is that it needs to be, no, maybe she can like kind of look into it. So with the storyboard I have is that she kind of looks into there, and it's kind of like flat, you know, it's kind of straight up and down, then draws off the lid, but maybe grabs it and then kind of grabs it from this point and then flips it up, and then the lid and then flies off. That could work. Problem is that if I don't want the ribbon to be too high up like that, that's not gonna work. trying to think of the use of silhouette. So I wanted to not cover her nose too much. So that's good. And then we'll just make sure that her arm kind of follows through with that motion. I think I want to move her head, neck kind of rotation. Have it kind of be more up. And then here kind of down. You know, we kind of like roll back. You're kind of like your neck kind of looking down a little bit, and so you kind of sit back up. It's a little extreme. I wonder if I want to remove this one and just kind of make it. And then I just think I need to have the neck kind of follow through with that animation. Maybe with the rotation. Or the skewing, do that. Kind of squish it down maybe. So I'm seeing that her neck kind of rolls back. So if I move her neck and skew that back, then it'll kind of gel the rest of the animation kind of together. Get that kind of motion. So it won't seem so awkward. Having more pieces kind of follow through with that motion, it'll seem like it's all kind of part of one thing. Cool. Okay. I do notice that her neck hair kind of falls off her head. So if I do a cleanup phase afterward or something, I'll, you know, kind of go through and then try and if I see any clipping or weird things going on, I can go frame by frame and clean it up like that. Oop, oop, oop. So yeah, small stuff like that we'll probably have to go through, make sure that everything's still good. Or if it's too much with the physics, is that I could kind of go through and go through her dynamic and see with this, and then see how much it's being used. can see it's kind of a little too much. So probably I can bring it. Oh, maybe not much. Let's have one that's kind of at the bottom, and then one that's kind of there. And then when she starts moving, instead of being 100, maybe I can bring it back to like 50 or something. Or when she's really moving from here. I forgot which way is which. So I'll bring it less. But how much it's kind of like have it be like 5% at this point. And then maybe bring it up for like a little bit here to have. And then bring it back down. I can kind of slide it so it'll stay better, stay closer to her. So, okay. That is one motion. But that's probably one of the more complicated ones. Is this transfer trying to figure out the stress of trying to figure out how to do this. Okay. Kind of like waiting to do facial animation a little bit later, so I can kind of get the whole gist of everything and make sure everything's timed out right. Because I could remove the storyboard, clear everything out, and then kind of look at all this animation here, and then see, is the speed of this good? You know, is everything kind of timed out and everything kind of posed out right? Make sure everything else is good. Because I think I probably want to go back through and clean some stuff up, but I don't have to worry about the hair too much now anymore. It's always been my huge, like you're in your final lap, but it's like, oh no, just wait a minute, you gotta, aren't you forgetting something? And it's like, oh yeah, gotta do the hair. It's 2. It's like, well, you know, I probably don't have to do this, but to me it feels a little better once it's kind of obviously it feels more grounded once I kind of get this to be, yeah, that makes it way better. Because it's probably good to have her butt kind of move a little bit, but, you know, not so much that then it becomes weirdly distracting of how much it's actually moving. What if I could put another... Nah, I was like, let me put another dynamic spring on her hat or something. I think this part does. What is a deformer? Oh well. Okay. What's going on? Yeah, how long was just doing that? To get to here, that's where, so that's that part, okay. That's close to that, and then, let's see, I'll get some music. Okay, so this part where she opens a box and then gets a smaller box, and doing this might be relatively simple. I don't know. Getting close on time, so I'll probably kind of show off the other shots so you can kind of get the full spectrum of what I'm trying to do here. Is that I could do a background change replacement, so you can kind of see how that'll look or work on the next shot basically. So for here, what we can do is I could do a color tint, or like there's a bunch of different ways if we want to change the hue or something of this. I think I probably just want to make, you know, like 2 or 3 different background colors and then have different versions of this. So when we swap to here, it can just be a different picture that just has a different color gradient. So we'll have background 2 and have it have its own color, and then instead of this beautiful bright pink, it could be a little like a little darker, or you know, something else. As if I change it drastically, you'll be like, what is this? What is this? It's maybe more blue. And I can play with the size and scale. That's what all this controller is. Of the gradient spotlight, basically. Can I bring it back? And bring it down. So we get this with a nice little hotspot there, and then we swap. I wonder if I want to change. I want it to be a little bit more saturated. Probably means I need to make this a little smaller. Here we go. I will go to. Yeah, I'll go to toaster time at the hour, and then we'll see how long. Maybe like another 10-20 minutes after that. So probably just go for another half hour. But yeah, if you need to leave, I'll remember this, that yeah, our collab stream will probably be a little bit shorter than what I'm doing here. So that's good to know. So around that time then, it's about 10 minutes before the hour. Got it. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Thank you. Happy birthday. Have a good way. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you for taking me on the offer to do that collab. So thank you so much, Cookie. Thank you for being a mod and helping me out so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And happy birthday to me. Thank you. I don't know what to say. Thank you. What are you supposed to say? Yeah, it's just kind of just thank you. I guess there's not much I can say after that. I was like, can't really say like, yeah, enjoy your meal too, the waiter, you know. Okay. What am I doing? Is that I want a new one? BK3. BK3. This could be more. Could be more blue, I guess. I don't know. Oops. Oh, now we're not blue anymore. Okay. Let's make this. I can put the highlight right on the muffin box on a present. I can make the rest way darker. Look at that moody light in there. Ooh. And then once that's done there, we'll go back to background, this picture 1. So now if it loops, it'll be the same background. Yay. Okay. Let's add the other character that's holding the present here. Then I want an arm for the disconnected present, which is going to be fun because I actually want a connected arm, an arm that connects to this animation here, not do anything else. And in theory, I don't have to put it directly inside of Derpy's puppet, but it obviously makes sense to put it next to the rest of the presents. So, other pony arm, and then connect it up. Whoa, whoa, okay. Put that in there. Okay. This is what I mean, like I need the arm connected to the disconnected present. And I can do a little stealing here. And I can take the artwork of this arm, paste it in, and then recolor it. So instead of this color, I can probably just use the darker color maybe. And then connect you. Connect these two pieces of art here. Or color them both that color. There we go. So I got extra arm that's down here. Where are you? Let's put it in the middle. Okay. Where'd you go? What the? Oh, it's behind him. It's behind the box. Okay. Move the pivot point up there. Apparently it's down there. So I want to be able to see it, obviously, but not so much. Okay, cool. So you need to be over here to get exposed. And the fun part is that it needs to actually last a little longer and then get removed. So that's okay. This is why we have it disconnected. I could have it have some little bit of tiny drag. It's a little bit high. And then I can get a little higher and then move down just a snag. So there's just a tiny little bit of it just kind of slipping out of its hand. And then expose the arm for a little bit longer. The force of it means it'll kind of go with her a little bit. And then we'll slowly just kind of rotate it, arc it out of place. Like just like that. And then it'll automatically get removed. So we can just kind of like, whoop, and then it just kind of slips out like, here you go. Okay. Boop, boop. So now we got that. Let's add a blink just for fun, just to get something out of here. So I got these eyelashes that also become blinks. So around here, maybe. I like to use blinks for changing expressions. So obviously you can hide the eyes for a certain amount of time and then be like, whoops, now she's feeling something different now. It's like a little mask to like mask the, if you need to like do a weird like wild expression to another wild expression or kind of change a lot of expression stuff. It's like, oh, whoops, you know, you can have a blink and then that'll hide the transition a little softer. And then, there we go. Ah! These are different mouth drawings I made. Probably could add a couple more. I think is that's slightly more. So I can have it be beep, beep, and then yeah. There's a lot going on, so let's, I'm gonna hide everything there as much as I can. One of my OGLs. Let's see. Hello, I got an arm. I got an arm. Okay. Hello. I think I remember how to say it. Oh, jeez. I forgot. Welcome. Good to see you. Let's see. So when she moves, I should always kind of focus directly on what she's feeling and thinking. I'll have it kind of look at the... Wow. Hey. Kind of like having another blink here, but it might be a bit much, but I don't know. It could just be a quick blink. Look at her. Blah. Blah. Ah, blah. It is kind of soon after the other, so I'm not sure, but it does kind of help that kind of break up the motion a little bit. Okay. Is that arm smaller? Nah, it's probably fine. Well, it's probably just looks smaller from stretchable arms she's got here. Okay. Let's see. Just to go over a little bit other stuff, I got cheeks. So I can have her, get her very excited. Expressions, or have different eyebrows as well. So she's fully ready to go with anything I can draw at her. Obviously trying to do all this. What if I want to do, could quickly make a, no, because then it won't be connected to everything else. I have to redo that. Yeah, never mind. Is this hat, what is this hat for? This hat goes there. It's not connected to anything. I just want to get rid of it. This hat does anything either. That's the party hat. Okay. Where are you? Ear to ear. The ear's not visible, so I don't know what's that about. I can rig a quick setup for the hat. So now if I want to, I can now physics the cat or something, I don't know. Add some drag or something, you know. Let's see. So if I want to, like when she's like leaning forward, like instead of it just being flat, I can move the hat. So this guy's own kind of squash and stretch and being his own little thing. So to have drag means that it's going to stay where it was before. And then slowly then go into its own position here. So instead of having it be straight up, it's now going to kind of go down a little and then kind of continue. I don't know, I'm adding so much weird. Very bouncy. Kind of works because it's not part of a, it's not on a string, I guess. You know, those little straps that kind of go around the hat. So I guess by having it be a little bit more loose, it actually kind of works out. So what did we even do today? I mean, probably finished like 50 frames or like 2 seconds or something. Box, grab, done. So that's 130, 70, or like 3 seconds about. Yep. So like in about 2 hours, got about 3 seconds of animation. That's kind of okay. Yep. So, yeah, let me show the rest of the storyboard so you can get a sense of what else I want to do with this. So it's an infinite box, like a nesting doll, that every time she opens the box, there's a tinier box inside until she gets a tiny muffin and then eats it. And then she gets another box and it's like, what's in here? And it's like, oh, it's another smaller box, until it's like, oh, wait a minute, what's going on? It's like really tiny. And then another muffin. So it's a pretty short loop, but I'll try and have like 2 versions. So the box colors might be different on the second loop, or maybe she feels something different. I don't know. Probably very minimal, but that's just to keep you watching, I guess. So you can feel like it's not a 100% loop every time. Exactly the same. So anyway, this will be fun. I'm going to try and complete it for my birthday tomorrow. So I'm going to be working on this off stream the rest of the night, maybe into the morning, who knows. This might be like 20 seconds or something, and then if it took like 2 hours to do like 3 seconds, yeah. So I'm just gonna keep plugging away at this, and you'll be able to watch the final animation hopefully tomorrow morning. So yeah, okay, let us go to save. Good, auto save. Boop boop boop. Yep, toaster time. So welcome. Whew. Let me get some water. My throat has been it's really been through it this past week. Good. Hope you guys have been good. I've just been recovering since Everfree. My cold has been progressively got better every day, so I'm glad about that. That I've gotten better. I've taken so many medicines in the meantime that eventually just stopped taking the medicines, and then I got better, like a lot more better each day. Then, so I was like, cool. And I was doing the medicines for it. It's just kind of, it's almost like a reverse placebo, where it's like it's not working. It's like this should work, right? And then so as much as just having regular rest, you know. So let's see. Bye, Dread. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you next week. Where I know Cookie's not here, but hopefully, yeah, next week will be tentative based on our schedules and availability. Will be a little collab thing, which I probably should explain to Cookie at some point. And what I want to do is that I want to do a little Cookie's an artist, little digital artist. So I'm getting there. I've said that I've gotten too accustomed like the animation and moving puppets and rotating and translations and all the nerd stuff of animating and drawing that I forgot to actually learn how to draw, fine draw. You know, all the Passport 2 animate streams really tested me a lot, and that's all those drawings were as best as I could do. So it'd be nice to relearn or get better to do a little learning lesson, little lesson on how to draw, or just get some, you know, the basics or techniques or something like that to do a little do like maybe like a little interview kind of style. And I was thinking of doing an app that can kind of allow multiple people to draw, like at a whiteboard kind of style, and have multiple people draw at the same time. Probably keep that private to us, hopefully, and then we'll be able to draw on the same canvas. And we'll see. You know, it'll only be like an hour or so I'm not sure how better I'll be at by the end, but at least I'll hopefully get some good tips, you know. So yeah, hopefully that'll be fun. Again, yeah, if that doesn't happen or for whatever reason, I'll do something else. I did wish for some equipment that would be good for streaming, so if that happens, I will be able to do a couple different opened up the possibilities for different types of streams. So look forward to maybe a better presentation than the Everfree video, the stream, where I was kind of locked to, you know, I had like one webcam, so I couldn't really have my phone or, you know, have dual webcams or have better quality stuff going on. So if all goes well, I'll have a little stand for my phone, so I can then have a second display, so I can have my webcam, you know, have my webcam look at me, and then have another have the phone as another camera, and so that I can look at my desk, and then I can do whatever I want on my desk, you know, and have live feed from there. Weird thing that I wanted to do was to use it to be able to have two cameras, would be to have one pointed at a Wii U controller, so I'll be able to stream Wii U games and have another camera so you can see what's on the screen of the Wii U. So I was planning on maybe doing Paper Mario Color Splash, because I never opened the box. So that'd be fun as a stream. And then yeah, I have a whole desk set up for traditional animation, where I have a light box, I got paper, I got a hole punch holder, whole bunch of pens and pencils. So I'm ready to do traditional animation. So of course the bottleneck is that I'm not comfortable drawing, so it's like if I can, you know, get those steps up where it's like if I can be able to draw at a comfortable level to me, then I'll be able to move forward with that and do more streams, maybe with traditional animation, and then do some traditional animation where I can draw on paper, scan it in, and then put it into Toon Boom, and then there's processes that Toon Boom can look at the image, the scanned images, and then trace the lines, and so you get the exact like line weights and perfect way that you would draw on paper, I guess, and then you get that real sense of the tangibility of that, and then it transforms it into vector lines, so it becomes a digital line that then you can play with and modify it from there, clean it up, and color it. So if I get that little camera stand thing, I can show myself drawing that on a light box and then do something with that and then animate traditionally there and then color it in. I think I did that for there was a couple of Halloweens ago where I did Inktober, where I did 1 frame a day. And so that was super fun, whereas I drew a little pumpkin and a little cat came out of it. It was really fun too. It was like the first, like, I'm gonna try and actually traditionally draw, and it's like, oh, okay, I can try and use all my, Flash and Toon Boom knowledge, try and draw that, and it's like, it worked. Okay. I can do stop motion, maybe. I can get some toys or whatever, do some stop motion animation or something. It's like it's I want to do more stuff. I want to do, open it up from, not just doing just Toon Boom animation or games and stuff. I want to open out to other stuff, because I love arts and crafts. It's like my big thing. So if I can do other types of animation and dive into like what's this what's this other medium stuff, and maybe I can use what I've already learned and then be able to do completely different mediums like stop motion and learn how to do that too. So yeah, I'm excited for that. We'll see how long in the horizon these projects might be, but at least it'll be hopefully possible, because that's a bottleneck for that, is I don't have a way to properly record it exactly. So I'm working to figure stuff like that out. So getting there. But I hope that'll be interesting enough content and keep me from being stagnated into just drawing pony animations to the end of time. I'll be able to do stop motion pony animations for the end of time instead. So yeah. So yeah, look out for that. I don't know how soon, and again, that'll all be. But probably when I finish my movie first, will probably be priority. It should be. So yeah, sorry again that how long it's been since the last update, since the last chapter. I'm gonna work on his birthday animation, and then I have a commission that's a little big that they want for their birthday in a couple weeks. So it's like I better get up on that and finish that, and then I think there's a little bit of midnight mirrors I want to clean up and then get that ready, and then after that I'd like to refocus back on the movie and just might have to just say like no more short cartoons or something for a while, just I can really just use all my free time now, which is basically from dinner until I fall asleep during a weekday, after a long full-timer work. Gotta come home and then try to animate as best I can. So, and then I don't know how long that'll take until I get the chapter 7 animation done. It might take another 3-4 months if I really work on it. It's probably gonna take a while. It's a lot of 3D modeling, big sets, and a lot more characters and a lot more stuff going on. So, and I keep wanting to push myself further on each chapter, so it's like it's taking forever to actually realize it, you know. So yeah. But yeah, with that, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all the birthday wishes. I will try and have the best birthday I can tomorrow. So yeah, if you I guess comment on my animation tomorrow, yeah, know that it'll be my birthday. So thank you again. Hope you guys have a good rest of your time, and yeah, thank you guys so much. All right, bye guys.